Welcome to our show, HBCU Period, where we talk about everything HBCU Period. Today, we are joined by Coach Trei Oliver. What's up, Coach?
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Doing well, Coach. Celebration Bowl winning coach, Trei Oliver.
Are we looking for next year, 2023? 2022 is behind us
MEAC
now.
Coach of the Year.
I like how you said behind us, like the trophies, the MEAC championship trophies are just strategically placed behind you for this call.
Those things, I didn't even see them back there. Wow. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't even know they were back there.
Well, Coach, yesterday was National Signing Day. It was also National Girls and Women in Sports Day. So shout out to you, Mia. But you really haven't lost anybody, but you kind of stacked the box. So when you were recruiting, what was the most important positions to you to fill?
Well, really, I mean, we needed a little bit of everything. We got a lot of guys coming back. We didn't lose a whole lot, but we needed to, kind of fill some needs at every position. Obviously, every year it's going to be offensive linemen, so we brought a couple of those guys in, and then just some long athletes. And I thought we filled a couple of needs. We got a really good linebacker, Jamel Muldrow out of Charlotte. I don't deal with a whole lot of transfers, but we did jump in there and grab two out of the portal. One from Tennessee, Miles Campbell, tight end, and Eli from Virginia Tech. So good to have those guys. But we had a relationship with them and knew some folks that have relationships as well. So we did a thorough background check, and we're hoping those guys will come in and help us right away. But really, some long athletes. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah. One thing you talked a lot about is the culture over the scheme. So bringing these guys in, I need a little dive deeper. What's that process? I know you hit the transfer portal. You prefer high school kids. How did you kind of just find the balance between those two this season?
Well, going back, the culture over scheme was about getting the right people in here and guys going to buy into the program, do what we asked and commit themselves to us, the school, in the process. Before you worry about any X's and O's and whether we're going to throw the ball or, run the ball, is about the culture. And I think we got that right. So we wanted to really build this thing with high school talent. Now that we've gotten the foundation settled, now we can go out and look to bring in one or two transfers. So we did do that. And told somebody last night, we recruited these guys. We didn't just sign them. And a lot of people talk about signing day. We signed however many guys. But we had a relationship with these guys right here, made home visits, had a relationship with them for the past 6 to 8 months. They came to games, been on campus. So they know us, we know them, we know their families. So we have a relationship with those guys coming in. We don't, just jump on Twitter and watch, highlight or see who's recruiting who. And, a week later, we, meet them and sign them. We don't do that. So it's all about relationships and making sure you have the right guys that are going to fit your system.
How important is it to kind of properly vet those guys and really get to know them and build relationships before, they sign to play for you?
I mean, that's a great question. I think that's so much of recruiting is so much more than the highlight film and what you see. When guys come on our campus and do visits, they always want to check you out and see the facilities, meet the coaches, and see the players. But I tell them, we're doing the same thing. And, we're watching their mannerisms, seeing how they interact with their families, with their mother especially, because, if guys don't open the door for their mother and aren't respectful to their mother or their parents, they're not going to respect us when they get here. Then you can also see how, what makes them work and, how they operate. And, sometimes when guys, having bad days or something, you don't know why, or you don't know them as a person, reach them. So when you have a relationship with somebody, with anybody in life, whenever they're having a bad day, you kind of know what makes them operate.
Yeah, one thing that also kind of helps with recruiting a little bit, usually you notice the teams that win a title, all of a sudden coach's phone is blowing up with recruits saying, Coach, remember you called me 2 months ago? You still interested? Circling the block a little bit. You have any of those? How has the Celebration Bowl win? Has it helped with recruiting at all?
Oh, tremendously. I mean, you look at my email, my DMs is crazy, but a lot of those coaches, like you say, weren't answering the phone, and some players were thinking they were going elsewhere. And now it was too late. Like I said, it's all about relationships. And, when you develop a relationship through the recruiting process over time, after we won a game, people want to, jump in and be recruited now. You got to figure out who they are, and are they a fit, and are do they want to be a part of the program for the right things? And everybody wants to be a part of a winner, but how many guys want to come in here at ground level and help build this thing? And on the flip side, when we recruit guys, we want to recruit guys off of winning teams. It's harder to, it's hard for guys to know how to win if they've never won before. So guys that come off of winning teams, guys that are captains, and guys that have played multi-sports are, things that we look for.
You've had one offensive lineman into the portal, but like you said, you signed 3. How important is it to make sure that you have strength in the trenches?
That's where it starts, and I think that's the reason why we were successful in the Celebration Bowl. We were able to run the football against a very good defense in Jackson State, and that's where you build it. It starts up front with the offensive line and defensive line, and it hurt me when we lost Corey Bullard, our left tackle. I think he was rated as the best offensive lineman in FCS, but that NIL is something. So we can't compete with the money that these people are throwing out there. But it is disheartening when you recruit a guy out of high school and he has very few offers. He comes in, you develop him after 3 years, and then a Division I comes in and scoops him from you. But we're looking. We got these 3 young guys, and we will look for older offensive linemen out of the transfer portal to help fill that position.
I'm happy you mentioned development. You've been known to bring these guys in, develop them, send them out a lot better. What are the plans for this class development-wise? You have Davius, you have Mookie, you still have some of your starters here, but count down the clock, time's running out on them. So how important is it to get these guys, coach them up, get them ready, because reality might set in a lot sooner rather than later. Their time's going to be called.
You're right about that. And, we try to be proactive and have a plan with everything. Last year, even the guys that we redshirted, now they can still play 4 games and get a red shirt. So I think all of the guys that we redshirted last year played at least 3 games. So we wanted to get those guys quality reps, quality experience. And then our down the line players, our 2s and 3s. Jamari Taylor, our backup running back, had an outstanding season. That Mookie Collier's back up. So hopefully after next year, he'll be able to take that over and because he's had so much experience. And then Walker Harris, our backup quarterback. Pee-wee or Davius, he didn't play a whole lot in fourth quarters throughout the season. And we were talking about stats and him being player of the year. And I said, it's probably going to be my fault if he doesn't get player of the year because, he didn't play in the fourth quarter a lot of those games. But the reason with that was we need to develop our backup quarterback. And, we're not trying to blow people out and run the score up. It's about developing people. So we did get a lot of quality reps from some young guys last year, meaningful reps, not just, late blowout games. So it's all about developing guys. And we know that it's going to be a day where, Pee-wee's going to be gone and Mookie's going to be gone and a lot of these other guys. So we can't keep leaning on them for the next 4 and 5 years. We got to make sure the next man is ready to step up.
Speaking of the next man, a lot of times these different schools will reach in the transfer portal and try to build their team from there. But you and a few other programs, y'all have the ability to develop your younger guys, the high school guys, and y'all take a lot of pride in that. How important is that, for the longevity of your team's success?
You can't say enough about it because, we brought some guys in that were, partial scholarships, and it was going to be a process to develop them. So now when I have 1 scholarship, I might be able to break that. And if I want to get 2 receivers, I can use 1 scholarship to get 2. So if one guy gets hurt, you still have a backup plan. Or if one guy doesn't pan out, it's going to be another year or 2. You still have a possibility of the other guy being ready to roll. But it's just really good to see when you play teams and Jackson State boasted about all the 4- and 5-star transfers they had and all of this. And I see, and not to knock these schools, but, our philosophy was just different. I'm very good friends with Coach Maynard, Alabama A&M. And I think they brought in like 30 transfers last year. And it's just good to see where you have a strength and conditioning staff like Thomas Carroll that we have here, and our nutritionists and those guys, they do a really good job of having a plan and developing these young men, and the guys buy in. So, it's a lot to do with buy-in from the young men, and at the same time having a staff that's knowledgeable enough and professional enough to be able to take these guys to the next level.
Okay, Coach, signing day, got your class, got your returners. What does spring ball look like? What are your goals? What are the expectations that you're going to start telling your team for this upcoming season?
The big thing is, let's put this thing behind us. Then the city is, they've been on 10 since the Celebration Bowl, from us going to Durham County Commissioner to get a decoration, and they had a huge parade for us. We took the team to the hockey game, and they acknowledged just the Carolina Hurricanes hockey game the other night. We still got to go see the mayor. We're going to the governor's mansion. So I'll be happy when this little victory run tour is over with, so we can really focus in on 2023. I appreciate all the, accolades and, and the acknowledgement and everything and celebrating our success. But I'll be so happy when we can put it behind us officially and move on to the spring. And the spring is going to be, again, about developing. And we're going to have to turn it up a notch because, obviously people are going to be gunning for us next year. We have an extremely tough schedule next year. So we're going to start back from square one, and we're going to turn it up a notch. And these guys are not going to be complacent. I'm not going to let our coaches be complacent. We're going to act like we went 1-11 last year. Or 1-10. I can't say 1-11. I'm not going to put that on us.
How important is it? How do you what do you tell them to make sure that they don't form a sense of complacency and that they, stay hungry?
Well, I think that's our job as coaches, and we talk about being great, and that was our acronym. And every day it's about improving. All my interviews during the season was about this. Every week we want to get better and improve. So, what we did last year was last year's team. That doesn't have anything to do with 23. You as a person, we want you to get better, both on and off the field. Just be the best person you can be, best player you can be, best student you can be. And I think that when you obviously filming all this stuff and then practice and everything, and you sit down and you're teaching guys and you're showing them things, both good and bad, you just can't always harp on the good and, you're the man and we did this, we did that. No, we got to get better because everybody in the country is going to be working their tails off this offseason to improve. So either you're getting better or you're getting worse.
And our final question for you. Everyone's excited, schedules are being released. Any game you and the team have kind of gotten circled?
Of course. Y'all know the coaches talked the first one. We got the first one circled. We got a very tough, Winston-Salem State is all of the Division II. That's one of our rivals traditionally. And whenever they come in here, it's always going to be a packed house. And they're, well-coached team. The coach is an alum from North Carolina Central, Robert Massey. We're good friends. But we do have a tough non-conference schedule with, obviously, North Carolina A&T, another rival. We go to L.A. to play UCLA in the Rose Bowl. Then we have Elon and top 25 team, and then we also have Campbell again. Then we go into our conference schedule. So we're gonna have our hands full with our conference, but that's where we schedule those games. You don't get points or kudos for knocking out the little guy. You got to knock out the big guy. So you knock the big guy out now. People respect you.
Okay. Yeah, me and Dina have already made arrangements to be at that North Carolina A&T game.
Oh yes, we already discussed it with Coach Brown. We out there.
Did you all come last year? Did you all attend last year?
Nope. We coming this year though.
Coming this year.
I missed one last year.
What Dion say? We coming.
I missed that. Who'd you say?
I said, how Dion says we coming. We coming.
Oh, Coach Sanders.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's Coach Sanders.
Yeah, sorry, Coach Sanders says we coming. We coming.
We gotta be respectful now.
Oh no, I don't need him seeing this calling me out for saying Coach.
Yeah, I saw a reporter call him Dion one time before and he got in trouble. So
Coach Sanders, yes. Sorry, Coach. We coming. That's gonna be it. Well, Coach, Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us here on HBCU Period, breaking down your recruiting class. Look forward to, you're going to see more from us very soon.
Outstanding. Thank you guys for all that you all do, and you all are first class.